Hello, everybody. I was asked to share with you another painting today, and this one is called The Great Return, or just The Return for short. And it's one of my Soul of Ireland paintings. I lived in Ireland. I was led there to do some grid work and travel and heal my heart and come into my fullness of who I am, etc. And so was there for roughly 18 months so far. I hope to go back. But anyway, this painting is probably one of my favorite from my Soul of Ireland collections, and they asked me to share it with you today. So I'm going to talk through it a little bit and put that on the screen so you can see it. See you guys soon. So The Great Return, or The Return, was inspired by a hike up one of my favorite mountains in Sligo. It's called the Magic Mountain by the locals, and it's Knocknarea. It is top of Knocknarea is a 40-foot cairn, which is Queen Maeve's grave, supposedly. And Queen Maeve, who knows if she was real or a mythical goddess, but in any sense, I love to hike this mountain, and there are two ways to get up the mountain now. And this painting was inspired by a very, very mystical experience I had on April the 10th, 2015. I had hiked up the mountain before, but this particular day was just off the charts. And so let me read what I wrote about this painting first. I wrote, the earth and the sky were alive with energy as I made the solitary climb that seemed to have some significance for me personally. The two horses who were actually in the field to the right as I climbed, artistic liberty in terms of my painting there, they seem to have been waiting forever for a day like this. I imagine the brown horse, his mane feathered and flying about on the windy day as he stood by the stone wall in County Sligo, Ireland, to have been the strong stallion the determined queen rode into battle fearlessly. The clouds were amazing. The one depicted in this painting seemed to be Maeve herself riding on a chariot cloud, and she appeared just as I reached the summit that day. So a little more about this painting. So Queen Maeve is known in Irish literature and all the stories about her as being quite feisty, a warrior queen goddess who insisted on being an equal with her husband and partner. And they're just like, go Google her if you'd like to know more, because she's quite an interesting character. And there's so many stories and legends about her in Ireland, I can't quite keep them all straight. But she's a very powerful goddess, queen figure in Irish literature. And the painting here, you'll notice, I really felt as I, kind of hiked that day, as I was coming toward the cairn at the top, I had passed the horse. The winds were amazing. The cloud formations were spectacular. I may go ahead and post some of my photos here for you to look at as well, so you can see what that day was like. And it was just like activation after activation that particular day, April 10th. And interestingly, so my phone, well, let me finish first. So you'll notice I painted this figure walking up, and it's almost like the energy, the trail that this person hiking to the top of the mountain is leaving behind it's almost like a wedding gown. And then at the cairn itself, it's like there's a portal of entry into that. And it's so funny because honestly, I have never really noticed the spiral on the right of the figure walking up the hill, and then this equal spiral with going into this, this tomb, this passage tomb, essentially, that's at the top, this cairn that's at the top. And I'm sorry, the cairn itself is not a passage tomb, but nearby are passage tombs. So you can Google that to find out what that is if you'd like. But this day was just amazing, stunning, and so many activations for me personally. And interesting, what I was starting to say is an interesting thing is my phone died that day, and I was on the way home, and it was literally the most amazing day energy-wise I have ever experienced. So while I'm in Ireland and other places, south of France and other places I'm drawn to, I'm often led to places that are significant openings. And like I'd said, I had hiked to this place before, but this particular day, it was I just can't describe what I experienced. It was just sink after sink, and all of these things in the sky and in the ocean below, or not the ocean, the ocean, and on one side, and then Ballysadair Bay on the other side. Just an amazing day, and it did feel very connected to my journey in this life, also the larger story to which I'm connected, in terms of the story of Jesus, and also to my divine counterpart, and to, again, the unfolding of what we're doing here right now, this, the ascension path and the shift in terms of our world and the opening up and bringing heaven to earth, all of it. So it's really amazing that they called this to my attention today, because I really had not thought of this experience in some time. Interestingly, so about 2 years ago, what happened for me is my phone had died, and I got home that day, and then it was like I was on such a high, and all of a sudden this event happened, that my former husband broke his hip, and I had to go back to the States, and it was like I was jolted back into kind of the 3D existence. And what's occurring to me right now as I'm recording this is that for me, that it was an opportunity for me to see the stark contrast of the energetics of the 5D versus the 3D, and I never forgot that. And so I had to go back to the States, and I made several trips over the next couple months, and was really pulled back into a very practical, take care of business kind of thing. And had, all of these changes unfolded in my own life. I sold my house, finalized the divorce. I had been putting off finalizing it forever, and went through that, moved up here, changed those last little bits of my life that I had been, just sort of lazy about, making things, really, really freeing up the space, letting go of all the extra stuff, that was in the way. And so what I'm seeing now is this was, for me, the beginning of the journey. And again, the return, the painting to me symbolizes the collective journey of humanity, that we're revisiting of what it means to be feminine, what it means to be masculine, who we are together in partnership. We are absolutely coming to that view of partnership that, kind of Maeve had that piece right, if she was a real person, or if it's just a story, regardless. The horse seems very significant too in this painting, because the horse is, look at the mane of the horse and the way that it's mirroring the colors of everything: the earth, the sky, the wall, the monuments that humanity has built, and what we leave behind. So I hope you've enjoyed this. I just wanted to talk through that. I'm really feeling very much that the reason they wanted me to share this with you has very much to do with the events that are unfolding now this week, the week of the full moon. I believe it's called the flowering moon, but I'm not sure about that. But the Scorpio, I think it's Scorpio, in the sign of Scorpio, and of course, Scorpio, all about death and transformation. My last video, I shared a little bit about Jesus, the resurrection and the life, and kind of my take on that. So all of this feels very tied together this week. Wish you all a beautiful week, and lots of love, and just really, really feeling very much like we are walking into something extraordinary.